hoping that one of these teams, again, we would love to see all of them compete, but the ruthless and the cutthroat nature of competition will not be merciful, as Dispenser even gets the first shot in Kahlua, but the stun just does not allow him. And now we have a 4v5 as Majesty gets that plant on. Secret maybe not off to a good start already, but we can't really pivot everything on one single frag. Tirapong says, okay, have a second one. Dubstep does get that trade-off, as Wit's still trying to fight his way out of Garage. Dubstep has marched forward just a little bit. Tirapong and Majesty, they get theirs, as Borkom last alive on this squad. Gonna try and clutch this out, but the post plan is already looking so much in favor for F-Dub squad.
Now they know that he's off the gravity well, as Borkom will have to at least get the half of this, because it's still a 2 versus 1. The double swing, the challenge. 40 seconds left onto the clock, and FWE setting their sights onto the A. Kahlua still does have the slide, but this is still quite risky for him, especially with the suppress. Team Secret are doing a really good job at delaying basically everything from FWE, but the thing is, they're going to incur the wrath of the 5 players. So it's going to depend on how well they can actually play for trades, but not well enough. Just beautiful stuff coming overall. The overdrive setup for Kahlua here, and he's going to try to rampage in. Dispenser not hitting the shot. It's all down to Borkom. Is the time now? Is the time nigh? As he is in a 4 versus 1. But look at the weapons from FWE. They have all upgraded. One going around for the big flank. That's going to be Jet Boys. And it seems like Borkom, yeah, no chance he's going to be able to get this. So what's going to happen now is stay in the spawn, holding hard outside of A just to get that information. That's why Team Secret are actually gravitating towards B and C. Oh, this is going to be actually pretty good. Nobody gets flushed out just yet. Borkom does have a little bit of contact on C long. Does win the battle. And it seems like this two-pronged approach from FWE is getting dismantled somewhat. Dubstep starting to heat up.
Ooh.
There's Jit Boys. Could actually probably run for A if he decides to do so. If he just knows that Wits and Borkom are coming right then and there. Oh, the swing.
But we have to really dissect what makes them stand out, because just being good, it's a standard that they have to get it.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's the aggression. Opening up the site for his team as Borkom tries to maneuver himself out of the site. He does fall a step lower, but with his gun in hand, Tirapong still wins the duel. Dubstep does get the trade out, as well as the rest of Secret, and suddenly a wild torrent going in the way of Secret.
Vash might need to pop the shot right now. Oh, okay. Ask actually Dubstep for it so that doesn't give away his positioning. The lockdown utilized. They're gonna have to start charging right in. The double swing. And they could actually, I think there's a molly maybe to destroy this lockdown, but they're gonna have to double peek it. But it's not gonna work. All right, that's a big commitment, as now it turns into a 2 versus 3. Borkom still hitting at hell here. Could explode for a really good takedown, and he goes for 1. Now the spike is planted. It's all down to him. Goes in for the swing.
As operating on a man disadvantage is gonna give them that much less control, especially with Kahlua, that gap closer, that space maker, and now with Tirapong, that front line has been weakened considerably, and now the back line is starting to take hits. Dispenser and Dubstep can't have one without the other, apparently, as Apina is the last person alive, and he will make a valiant effort to resist this Team Secret march.
Speaking of March, Borkom aggress once again, both on window here. Wits, can he get away from the blades? Can he get away from the aggression? Looks like he can, at least for the nick of time, but FWE have already gotten control of the B side. One is in the back of the site. It's going to be Borkom, but he's been spotted by Tirapong. Jesse Vash gets zapped with the finger blaster from Kahlua. And look at this. A spear in the center of the map has just punctured the defense of Team Secret. Dispenser trying to be the hero, but it gets peeked by 3 members of FWE. It's all down to Wits with an operator in hand, but there is the anti-lurk of Jet Boys. It's making a lot of noise. Just Jet knew about this.
Oh,
looking right in front of him, not in the back.
At the very least, Wits has this operator momentarily, but we see a collapse on his position. Very soon, we might see a duel. And if he can find just at least one.
A lot more oomph because of the natural layout of the land. Oh, the pop shots from Vash. Massive damage onto Kahlua here. We'll have to call the heal from Tirapong. And I love this recon dart. Actually bypasses the wall and everything. Bash needs to get a little bit more value on that Guardian of his. Absolutely not. Dispenser, though, lights up B site with the Spectre in hand. One more flick, and that's going to be it. 5-7. Actually pretty damn good. Entertaining to see, and actually effective, and as you can see, really worth the while for FWE. Anyways, two-pronged approach. It's going to be the charge in through C-Long as well as Garage, and the trade's a little bit abundant. Killua already coming from the behind. No dashes or no slides in hand. So it's going to be just him and teammate against the world. Dubstep now corralled through onto position on default, and Majesty just immediately as he peeks out, pops the shot.
One of these rounds, or at least the more this lead goes up, the more likely they'll force it out. Dispenser tries to get one, and he does successfully. It's Tirapong, but Killua and the rest are so quick on the trade. The classic on the side of Borkum. He gets one, but he does get cornered by the rest of FWE. That's all they get. A brilliant
Dubstep,
eco
though.
still. Dubstep again, who's been rising up to the occasion. But where did Opinia come from? Jesse Vash sitting in his corner here, but does he know Wits is here? Oh, and he goes to try and take and settle the smokes in. Jit Boys now has a task to find these two wonderful gentlemen who's been playing a lot of mind games. He has to sit on this. But Secret, they are masters of these angles. As we have yet another fairly innocuous setup. Something fairly common. A quick garage take, it seems. They do get rid of that turret, but Jit Boy is just here. He is too quick on that trigger. Finding everybody. Dispenser is on yet another flag, but as an attack on A is being mounted. And Killua, maybe a little confused which angle he really wants to hold. So far hasn't really caused any reasonable damage. But here we go. The trades are coming in. Secret, they flood in. This is looking fairly dangerous for FWE as Dubstep, still the man of the hour, gets another kill to his name. And Jitboy, who I did mention was all on his lonesome.
Allow his teammates to help him as they were still trying to rotate from the other portions of the map.
Which has been the death of them by Jitboy, and this time potentially from the breach. But now two fronts is too many to handle as Wits and Jesse, they slice up FWE, and no longer the pride of the lion is standing tall, but looking a little more bruised now as a 2v4 retake is in hand. The Seekers have been expended, Asarai, and the lockdown is still here. Is the investment going to be that much more investment? Or rather expensive, my goodness.
This is still really doable for FWE, by the way. They can isolate a couple of fights. Good bait plays overall, and Tirapong manages to explode for 2. He's taken no damage whatsoever. And now he can try to just get the information. I think he saw the shadow of Jesse Bash, and now Jesse gonna have to go away. That blade also making known that Dubstep's presence is actually all the way through C-Long. Tirapong is fully blinded, and that recon dart gives all the information for Jesse to play the situation to an utmost T.
Somewhere else too. And Opinia may have put a wrench in that plan.
This might not look too pretty because they lose the pinch that Dispenser has given his team. Still though, Wits expecting the Rolling Thunder to come in. It still does not work. Oh, that takedown from Dispenser might have really hurt Team Secret here. And Dubstep, he was making all the noise on spawn, exposing him to Dubstep, and somehow they get the A site absolutely perfectly and turns this into a 3 versus 4. Okay, I see you. The best lineup of the shock darts. Just bounce it up, full charge, 2 bounce, it's gonna be good. Judge in the hand of Jit Boys does nothing. No. But Opinia, lockdown destroyed, and the shock dart is coming in, but he's starting to defuse this. They gotta actually spot him out. And they will have been a staple as of recent for the Thai scene, but they have been so out there. Great tracking from Jit Boys, by the way. Doesn't expose Opinia's position, so he's also still good for another frag. It's not looking too hot for them. Jesse Bash has to push through the smoke so that they can at least bring back Dubstep to life, a la Evanescence. He's still holding the one angle there. Are they going to go rotate all the way around? The relay bolt, as well as the fast lane activated already. Borkum just goes straight up for the Fast peek, and now it's turned into the 1 versus 1. Dubstep versus Majesty. Dubstep playing on the back of the site. Throwing out the flash. Forces back Majesty, but he does have the fault line. Will get stunned. And it's starting to corral onto Dubstep, who still hits the shot. He heard the jump, and all he really needed to do was wait for it. He was dazed, but not dazed enough to lose the fight.
Yeah, nobody checks this out. Again, Wits, if he can just, well, keep his wits to himself. He's been discovered, but he hasn't TP'd out yet, so that's going to prove to be a bit of a passive threat. The Tirapong is going to be very active at dealing with. And we talked about the Sage, and once again, the panel loves to use the word old. I would say it's tried and tested. Again, not really a knock on anyone here, but Jitboy, who is also on that chamber, a newer addition to the roster, to the cast, not the newest, but still pretty shiny. Majesty has been discovered. That alarm bot does its job very, very well here. So Dubstep, he might go for a chase here. Asarai into the kitchen, but that's going to weaken their defense momentarily as he's going to be preoccupied. Well, not anymore. It's been dealt with, and now they have full reign on this retake.
Ooh, what a shot from Jitboy. Now, ow, another one. Just hitting them all, isn't he? Swift trade will come through.
Classic players. Secret, they look very, very impressive on this round.
Spencer really loves for that lurk, man. Turns into what? Sometimes it works for him, but people just try to expect it a whole lot more. Bash. Ah, yeah, that recon dart just made it so. Dubstep can try to pick up the weapon now as he puts himself into a 4 versus 1. Good fight onto Apena. Tries to go for the fight. What a shot onto Jitboy.
30 seconds left.
This Viper Spit isn't really easily countered by a recon dart because of the fact that there's just so many corners that I think the recon dart just doesn't effectively spot out. Anyways, that's really awkward. Apena's still here on the high ground, boosted up onto the wall. Tries to cross into the crosshair of Wits, but that's not going to happen. I love this double up from both FWE players, but this is going to force them back out. They're going to have to reposition. Tirapong very close, but Wits is hitting those shots, already vying for the ace. Drops right in. Not going to be possible. And Tirapong, always the magic player of FWE, but not this time. He don't got no magic hands.
Sage, well, you don't really have to fight for orange anymore. They do get a fairly safe flank. A little bit of a corner that he's found himself in. Safety as Dubstep chops up Khalil. Where'd he come from? Jitboys with the trade is too quick. Dispenser gets one. He waits out the res. Can't really get the kill. So it's still a 4v3. Jitboys steady on that. Oh, but Jesse Vash! He is ice cold. The Patriarch. He gets one, but Dispenser falls. Borkum finds one through the wall. 2v2. But look at all this utility, Asarai. It's not really working out, or is it?
I was gonna maybe mention the lyrics. Anyways, it's a song that I don't want to sing because Tirapong is here to perform. That's the explosion they were hoping for. I think they just wanted to make sure that Dubstep didn't have the dash anymore. Jesse Bash double with the Hunter. Oh my god, Dubstep even comes in with a shot of his own. And through the fire and flames they go. They really get burnt off, and this double operator is still getting its mark. Jitboys has already been spotted, and Dubstep, you know, before APAC started once again, I was kind of expecting to see familiar faces from the Thai region, most notably again Sersha and Full Sense. But FWE is actually that one team that has beaten Full Sense quite convincingly. How does... Okay, it was through the tag anyways. Borkum is still here at first contact, and he hasn't been spotted out just yet. Wits and Dispenser making a damn good case. Tirapong gets enough to get himself that charge up. Trades right in, and as the smoke dissipates, Dubstep just denies.
Tempo here. Truly not a pusillanimous gentleman, but it even bites him in the back as Killua with a Guardian seals his fate. Borkum finds Jitboys on the other side of the world, but the front line, it's been pretty much pushed. So close to the spawn here. How did Borkum get here? Majesty's probably wondering, as his fellow Viper player has definitely one-upped him here. Now look at this, Asarai. The spike is in such an awkward position that what can FWE do here? Especially with just Opinion Killua left. Jesse eliminates one of their problems. Killua, we know he can clutch, and we know he's capable of doing these things. He finds his first victim, but time is winding down, and that spike position has not moved a single inch.
One enemy remaining.
Dubstep potentially tempting fate. The ace clutch? No, Borkum says no. Absolutely not. Absolutely in your throat. His wits, still the man of the hour, tries to find a shot and actually tags in Apina. Still, he has a pretty forward position onto the side. They go for a post plant that is leaning towards rather B main here, but oh no indeed, as two players have been detained. We've seen Secret steal away many rounds. Is this one of them? As FWE, they look far more impressive. Wits pushing that wall. What a flick onto Killua. Beautiful adjustment. Now pushes yellow. Nearly finds a second, but it's Dubstep. Actually on a massive flank. He gets 3 for himself. And Majesty tries to fend off the rest of Secret. Oh my goodness. But look, oh my goodness. I think they went shoulder to shoulder again. A dance of both Sentinels. But Wits needs only one step.
What?
Huh.
How did he know?
Maybe he's just anticipating the rotation, because again, he did get that initial contact, but Apina gets the hand above Borkum, or rather the upper hand. Well, I don't know how those words came out of my mouth, but Apina, those bullets coming out that ghost, seems to be giving him the affirmation and the validation he needs. This dispenser here could potentially cut off a major rotation in the form of Majesty. Tries to play off contact of his Phantom 6-man here. But the shots, they favor FWE. Dubstep, lone man, will now be encapsulated by that blue orb.
That and they actually waited for the recon dart for Vash before they start pushing in, possibly. Good value, actually, as it spots out Killua at the back of the site. They can still wait it out just because they still have some time left. And again, technically they do have the weapon advantage, but they still cannot play too bait from this, because again, it's Killua and Tirapong who have been the terror of Team Secret. And speaking of which, it's now turned into the 2 versus 1. Vash is playing super close to Tirapong, and he actually catches him off. Is he gonna hear the flank coming in through his opponent? But regardless of, Vash now actually has his Hunter's Fury. So regardless of which, Jit Boys, what was that? Actually jumps right back out. Recon Dart will be exposing him. And Jesse Vash looking to wrap all the way around to the back. How quickly can you actually flick?
On FWE, some presence towards orange. This pit has been completely occupied. A fortress, a bastion perhaps. This is looking far more perilous. This could be the end for FWE. And Majesty exposing himself like that, even getting tagged by the vulnerability on that alarm bot. Not a good look by Apina. He could potentially salvage this. The trades are here. Majesty gets 1. Down to yet another 1v1. Is this her Secret Service? His Majesty's Secret Service? No, it's Wits with a tour de force. Absolutely annihilating FWE.